Welcome to Steve 87th, Puget Sound and Pacific Railroad.
Hi everyone, this is Steve 87th PSAP Railroad, or Puget Sound and Pacific. This is my channel, and I just wanted to invite you guys to come along and watch as I build my railroad, build up some kits, do some kit bashing, and running trains like the one behind me. So if this is what you guys like to watch, stick around for a while and see if you like the channel.
Hi everyone, Steve 87th here. It's been a little while, so I thought I'd go ahead and show you what all came for a mail call and then show you what I'm doing next. So this is the first thing that I wanted to show you guys. You know Marty from M&M Trains, which is now Marty M Trains. He and I did a deal when I did my build for the Walthers kit. I got 2 surge bins and I only needed 1, so we swapped an AR1, which I'm going to need in the future, so I figured I might as well get it for my reversing loop, for the surge tank, which was completely finished. So I thought that that was pretty cool. Okay, a future project that I'm going to do is a military train, and I wanted to figure out kind of what I could do with the military train because it needs to have a caboose. So I went and found this Atlas Freedom train. It's one of the new Atlas Burlington Northern Desert Storm trains that they have for an extended vision valve. So I just thought that that would be kind of a cool thing to put on the end of the train, the weapons train that is going to happen. So pick that one up. So that looks kind of neat. Let's see if we can take this out real quick so you guys can see it a little bit better, because of course it's in the plastic. Oh, wow, that popped out really kind of good. So it's actually pretty heavy. It's really kind of nice. It's got the metal on it. Not too detailed on the bottom, but I don't really care. It doesn't have the lights and all that. It does have the BN on it. But basically what I'm going to use this for is this will be the trail car that will house all the Marines and stuff like that that they use when they're transporting weapons in my area. So I thought that that would be kind of a neat thing to add to the train once I got that. So let's see, what else? So I got some things for the project that I'm about to do. So we'll do those in a minute. The other thing that came in, which was kind of cool, I've been waiting for this for a little while, from Athern Trains. And of course the box isn't opened. So, knife not around. It's actually sealed. These I put in an early order for many moons ago, and it finally came in. This is the Cascades. This is an Athern engine of the Amtrak Cascades. So from you guys who know, I live up in Seattle. The Amtrak Cascades is the engines that run between Vancouver, British Columbia, yeah, some Canadian stuff, and pretty much Portland. I don't think they go much past Portland. But they announced this about a year and a half ago, and so I wanted to get one of these. Now my problem is I've got to get the cars for it that go along with it. But this comes with DCC and sound. It says DCC sound equipped. And it's one of the new Atherns. I haven't really done anything with it yet. Looking forward to putting it on the set and see how it works. So that's the Athern. Okay. Now, much like a bunch of other people did the other night, I opened this up. I have a Mark Sebastian, Highways and Byways. So during Vinny's call the other night, when they had the big super sale that they announced, I decided that, especially with the ways that I do it, I decided to get the parking lot set for HO scale. And then the regular HO graphics package, which I already have one, but I thought a second one wouldn't be bad because I do plan on making roads and all that. And then with that, I got the extra HO yellow stripes because there's usually more yellow stripes on the roads than anything else. So I got that along with Vinny's 7% and the percentage off with that. So that came in the other day. So that's kind of a cool thing. And then lastly, I have a new project that I'm going to do. And what it concerns is a Digitrax DN116 PS DCC decoder. Okay? Along with the decoder, some white light bulbs. This is all out of Yankee Dabbler, along with the caboose came out of Yankee Dabbler. Sorry about that. The train engine came out of Factory Direct Trains. Okay? They also had Rapido, what are these? The ditch lights, deck-mounted ditch lights, which I actually need a couple of these. So I went and got 2 of the ditch lights. And Yankee Dabbler was cool because I called them up for this project and asked them what type of decoder I should use. They suggested that one, and because I told them what I was going to do with the project and that I needed those white lights. And the white lights don't come with aren't ready to run. So after I talked to them and all that, they said, well, if you haven't done the lights before, just tell us and we'll go ahead and put in some resistors for you. So they put in the resistors for me for the lights. So Yankee Dabbler did me really good. So between so Yankee Dabbler was kind of the bigger one for the mail call this week. Between the highways and byways stuff, the Digitrax stuff, and the new caboose that I got, that was all Yankee Dabbler. And then, like I said, the Amtrak engine has been on back order or waiting till it to come up for quite a while, and I got that from Factory Direct Trains. So that's my mail call. So now let's go see what I was doing for my project. So this is the next project that I'm going to be starting. It's a Walthers 25-ton crane. So why am I doing the 25-ton crane? Well, Puget Sound and Pacific Railroad has one, basically, is what it's going to do. So there's some things that I need to make it look a little bit better. Got to paint it a little bit, got to put some decals on it, change up some decals and so forth. Start doing some of the weathering, got to string it all up and all that, and actually make it powered and use some DCC equipment in this. So I started out with a Walthers crane, brand new out of eBay. I took it apart. Part of it actually was already apart. The boom and all that wasn't strung up and ready to go. And then I went and stripped off the C&O that was part of the train as it was. And then I had to go ahead and start doing some painting on it. So I've got a little thing on my paint booth, and then we're going to show you about how I do the painting. The spray booth from PK&W Railroad. Okay, everyone, so I know we all just saw the video of making of a spray booth where we worried about getting the fumes outside and all that. This is one of the Micromark portable spray booths that actually you can spring up anywhere. It's got, you can see I've done lots of work with it. Have got a lot of paint into it. And then, but it can actually be used inside as an unducted item. And the reason is, let me show you guys, because when you get to the filters, if you look at the filters, see this blue filter? That's normally like what you get on your furnace filter with a single layer of the fibrous filter here. But this secondary filter here is a lot thicker and a lot harder, and it should actually be impregnated with a little bit of carbon. So you guys can see, if you look back there, you can almost see right through the back end where you can actually vent this within inside the area that you're in. One of the other nice things is because you got the particulate filter first, which is the blue filter that's on there, which you can't see as blue now, but it is blue normally. You can see around the corners. The paint particulate gets in there, and then all the fumes get trapped on the second one. It would be better to vent this outside, but I don't have a good way or a good location to put my paint booth next to a window that goes out, so That's why I use this. The good thing is I'm using the acrylic paints, and I don't use my spray cans in here or anything like that. I just use my acrylics. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my little crane set up and go ahead and try to do some painting on it to make it look a little bit green on the bottom. Okay. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and tape off everything that I needed to after looking at the pictures that I could see. Unfortunately, I don't have the pictures of the other side. I needed to put in like a safety green color, so I took a little bit of time, made the safety green using paints, had to thin it down quite a bit and all. Got the model all taped up and ready to go, and then used my airbrush to go ahead and lightly apply some of the green. So I had to do it to the cab portion of it, and then I had to turn around and do it to the bottom portion of it. The color apparently right now is just regular yellow that I painted on it. The whole bottom of this was black. So I had to add some color so that I could then weather this later. But I wanted to get the close to the right color. It's not going to be prototypical exactly, but this is an experiment and trying to work down, see what I could do with this. So finishing up the spray painting, using my airbrush and my air boot, and it looks like it's pretty much done, just a little bit more here and there, and I'm finished with this portion of it. Okay, so now I got it to get a little bit of green and a little bit of yellow on there. Now, next thing I'm going to do, and I'm not going to bore you guys with this, I got to retape up all of those windows. Okay, once I get the windows all taped, then I'll come over and I'll spray this with some white to kind of dull all of this down, and then we'll do the effects later. Okay, so that is my attempt at making it the two-tone color that it is, and now we just have to get it down colored. Okay, well, there's a couple of ways that we could try to do these windows. One is to go ahead and try to tape them all up. The other, I'm going to try to do old school. Now, what I mean by old school is some Elmer's glue that will dry over top of it, which I've already put on a couple of the windows. It's already started to dry. Oh, sorry. Put over the top windows there, because those are really small to try to get into. So basically what you're doing, the technique on this one, is just get in there. Make sure that you have a pretty good thickness of Elmer's glue and put it on in there. That one's going to be tough because that's actually a window that you use one of the draw mechanisms for. So it'll be kind of fun getting that one out. So, but that's kind of the way that you do it. It can be fairly easier to do it this way. And then if anybody has ever used Elmer's school glue before, or glue in school and all that kind of stuff, and you let it dry in your finger, you know it peels off. So that is what we're going to go with here. That we're going to be able to put this on here as a masking tape, and then once it dries, we'll go ahead and do the spray paint. Put that over top. And once we're done spray painting it all, we just peel off the Elmer's glue. So I'm going to finish this up. It's going to take a while because every time I do something like this, I have to stop and let it dry a little bit on the corners before I can move on to the next one, or else it'll just drip and make a mess. All right, I did a little experimenting. That's my airbrush in the back. And I went with some white pastel. That didn't really dull it out enough. And then I actually started with the white paint. And I think the white paint off of an airbrush is going to do what I want it to do. So I'm going to go ahead and touch this up. and touch up that. I'm going to start with this because this is the easiest one to experiment with to make sure that it's coming out the way that I want to. I'm not going to record this. It's too difficult to get a shot in over the spray booth. Okay, so we'll see what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so here's a little comparison. You can see this is after I put some white paint on it, and this is the original yellow, which is the same. So I think I'm going to get the effect that I want using the spray paint. That's looking pretty good. I got some other weathering stuff I got to put on this, so I'm not too worried about it. It's got to be rusted and stuff, so that looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and paint this one now. All right, so there we have it. Kind of nicely dulled out. And then I've got the little bit of white that showed up a little bit too much there. But again, I got to rust up that deck. I got this dulled down quite a bit. That's okay, I guess. I think the sides came out pretty good. Let's see how this one. So that one's a little bit better on it. But overall, I think I'm satisfied with it. That coupled with this, I think we got about the right white kind of going on there. So now it's time to doll it up with, let this dry up a little bit and all that kind of stuff. And then I've got all kinds of weathering things I got to do to it next. But remember, the other thing that I got to do is actually clean up the windows. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing next. So here's my little blooper. I forgot to put tape on this portion here. So I just put a little bit of 9100 alcohol on there just to get that dust off. We will make this a little bit dirty, but I didn't want it to be cleaned over with white. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more care in doing this, but you can see there I actually have a clear window, which is supposed to happen. Whew. Luckily I remembered this before the paint got too right. Now I am going to set up so I can show you guys how I take off where all the windows are at. If not, I'm going to wind up using a Q-tip with 9100 on it, or 91% alcohol on it, to clean up all those windows. Okay, remember I used old school methods. This is going to be dry enough. And if you guys wonder why the decals aren't on there yet, because actually the decals are brighter than what this normally is. So we're going to, no, that's a little bit better. Take that light off of it. We're going to go ahead and put the decals on after this kind of thing. So remember, I put in the glue. So we should be able to just grab a corner. Let's see if this works. Come on. It's going to take a little bit. There we go. You see how that came up? Just grab that corner. And there you go. It's nice and clean. So this took a little while to do, right? Because the glue itself had to set up. It takes a little while for the glue to set up. But think of how fast that is, and then not having to cut all of these windows, especially on a model like this, where the model came with the windows in it. The biggest thing is trying to get underneath the paint. So again, underneath the glue. Now, all this is if you guys ever played, and I know everybody out there had to have, with your glue when you were in school. All you're doing is taking that layer of glue. It's just like when you got your fingerprints and stuff. When you're playing with the glue and using your fingerprints. You just put a nice thick coat of it on there, and there you go. Window's nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and clean off all the rest of the windows to make sure that they're nice and good. You guys don't need to see that, but I just wanted to show you that that's a really good way to do it. I have also used this method to actually put windows into vehicles, where you start with a blank opening, and you put a good glob of glue here, and you just start pulling it and pulling it and pulling it, and eventually you can get it all the way across, and then you have a nice clear window when it comes up and dries. So that's another good thing about good old Elmer's glue that a lot of people don't know. I believe Mod Podge does that too, and I know Micromark has a product that can do this same sort of thing, where you use this as as the masking tape too. But the question is, do you want to pay 99 cents for a big bottle of Elmer's glue, or do you want to pay, what is it, like $3 or $4 for a size of glue like that? Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish pulling this all off. All right, and there you have it. Nice, clear windows. Even up on the top. Got the little back windows done. All right. All of that. Again, Elmer's glue can be your friend. This one, this very back window, there's another, oops, I got to clean that one off because I did not put any plastic in there by chance. And, you know, I might just hit the other ones just to clean them up a little bit to get them defogged a little bit. So, but there you have it. Nice, easy way to mask off things when you want to. Okay? So just one final comparison, because I took this apart. It's going to be easier for me to work. Plus, I've got threading to do and all that. But original yellow, the green yellow. That's supposed to be on there. You can see how much I've dulled it down using the white. So that's what I've got for now. And I think I'm going to end this video on this part of the time. So that's the first part, and we'll have some more coming in the future. So this is what we want it to look like. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit the likes, and we'll talk to you later. Steve 87th, PSAP Railroad. Bye now.